Hi, I'm Crystal,
I'm Tara.
and you're listening to the Rom-Com Detectives. Welcome to Rom-Com Detectives, episode 28, Heroin Inspector. Today, Tara and I will be talking about the 10th episode of Lucifer Season 1, Pops. This episode originally aired on March 28, 2020. Oh, I'm so used to saying 2020. 2016 was written by Alex Katznelson and Mike Costa and was directed by Tara Nicole Ware. And so we'll go straight into case briefing. The victim is 60-year-old Javier Arias. His cause of death was poison. The motive was, it was actually an accidental murder, right?
hmm
But it was jealousy originally. Guest stars, some big ones. Rebecca
hmm
Mornay, notably. She plays Penelope Decker. I don't know about you, but I remember her most from The Hand That Rocks the Cradle from the 90s.
I remember her. She was in some period piece. I can't remember what it was, where she was like, I don't know.
Was she
Like,
bad?
she was bad. And I
Because
can't.
she was so evil in The Hand That Rocks the
hmm
Cradle. I was
hmm
like traumatized by that movie in the 90s. I remember I came out of that movie, I was like, oh my god, this lady is so evil. And
Yeah,
I never thought of her as anything but ever since. But so yeah, when she appeared in the show, I was like, oh my god, she's gonna be a villain. 'Cause but it was weird because she came off as so bubbly and nice and
exactly.
yeah.
It's acting.
And so there was also Manny Montana. He played Junior. He's from Graceland, South Beach, and Good Girl. There was Alessandra Torresani. She played Naomi, and she's from Caprica and The Big Bang Theory. Tara Summers. She played Anne Martin, the murderer from Boston Legal and Mercy Street. And then there was a waitress who was credited, and that's Maddie Phillips. And she is actually Kate Dunlap from Gen V. So the people who watch The Boys, I was not expecting to like Gen V as much as I did because I really like The Boys, and then I'm not generally a spin-off fan, but Gen V was actually pretty good. And yeah, but it came out a while ago, like 2 maybe 3 years ago. So I had to go and look up her character again. I was like, oh my god, it's her. So as soon as I looked up, I googled her. I was like, wow.
I
So
mean, Crystal, you just said this episode came out in 2016, and that feels like it was like a couple of years ago. So I'm not sure I
yeah,
can judge time
yeah.
accurately.
I think it's like that for all of us, though. I
I know
mean, like
it's,
the pandemic years, they kind of just like got gobbled up by our
yeah,
brains. They don't really exist as like a stretch of time, I think.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Tomorrow is my 18th wedding anniversary. That's not a real number. So I don't know. It's just weird. Time. It was just last year.
How did we get here?
I don't know. Days just keep passing.
Okay, so we're gonna get into the episode breakdown now, and it starts with Lucifer standing behind a woman, kind of creepily, I might add, in a grocery store. And he starts talking very suggestively about how difficult it is to choose strawberries because you can't tell if it's good or not until you bite into it. And he actually gets her to bite into that strawberry, and she has like a very how do you
Orgasmic?
orgasmic reaction to it. And it's all fine until she cries out, "Oh God," which causes like a record scratch moment for Lucifer. And that begins like a whole trend throughout the episode where he's just getting all upset about people saying, "Oh God," because that's
Yeah.
his dad. He doesn't like his dad. We thought about calling this episode Daddy Issues, but we ended up going with Heroin Inspector because we thought it was funnier.
It is.
Of course, then we have Chloe scolding Lucifer, like, "What are you doing?" That never gets old, seriously.
It doesn't.
The
She
whole
because
thing.
she just has so many varieties of disappointment in him.
Just because you kind of just like the way that they filmed the scene, it just makes it feel like it's just the two of them,
Yes.
right? And then you realize, oh wait, Chloe's been watching this whole thing.
They're in a public place with a dead body on the floor, you know.
Yeah, I mean it's so weird because it just seems like it's just the two of them having this strawberry moment, and then they walk straight. It's like not even a few steps,
No,
and
it's
then
right there.
there's the dead guy. And did you notice the lady in the background when like he starts talking to Chloe? She just looks like kind of lost. She's like, "Where
She's like,
am I?"
what happened? Got kind
Although
of caught up in the drama
she
of the
mustn't
strawberry.
she must have been like pretending to look at strawberries to be a busybody because really,
Hmm.
I mean, if there's a dead guy in a supermarket, of course people are going to be like, "Oh, what's going on?"
Yeah.
I'm
Also,
actually kind
like
of surprised that they hadn't cordoned off the whole store.
I feel like that is what would have happened in the situation. Maybe she was, I can't remember exactly her costume, but maybe she was an employee who was supposed to like, and was just kind of like busying herself.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Anyway,
It's funny.
anyway,
It made for a
plot
very
holes.
funny
It's
scene.
fine.
But so Chloe starts talking to Lucifer about the victim, says that it was likely poison, and she's she understands at this point that the case has to be interesting for Lucifer. So she's trying to like draw his attention to like the fact that he's got like blood coming out of his eyes and everything. So she wants him to be interested so he'll be invested and help her out and actually be useful.
Yeah,
But he is interested, but not for the reason that she thinks, because he's kind of horrified. He's like, "Oh my gosh."
she's very confused. She's
Yeah,
like,
because
what?
she's like, "Yeah, what? Why are you acting like this?" But it's because he recognizes the victim. It's Chef Javier, and he laments that he's never going to taste his perfect tamales again.
Mhm.
And of course,
Lucifer
now
once
it.
again showing his sensitive side in the face of death. Yeah,
Chloe mentions that they're going to have to talk to all of his staff at the restaurant because apparently he had a bad temper. And so Lucifer says, and find out whether he wrote down any of his recipes
one
because
track mind. Hmm.
priorities.
I do think that one thing that's interesting about this episode, because, and I feel like this happens more and more as the show goes on, is they're letting the episodes kind of like bleed into each other. Like Lucifer is
Hmm.
mad in this episode because Father Frank died in the
Yeah.
last episode, and
Yeah.
he's mad at his father for what he thinks was an unfair, you know, thing. And, that just sort of continues. Like right now we're on like the roller coaster down to the end of the season, and
Yeah.
every episode adds to what's going to be the final conflict. I like that. I do like when a story kind of has a continuing arc.
So they go to Javier's restaurant, and Lucifer starts wondering if there's any leftovers from his last meal, which, at, obviously to everyone else, we're just like, why would you want to eat his last meal when he was poisoned? But he apparently likes his food so much that he says it's worth the risk. And so they go and they approach the staff, and is she a maitre d' or is she just a waitress?
She's dressed differently, so I would assume she's like the hostess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But she's the one who tells him that they called him Pops because they all looked at him like a father figure. And this piques Lucifer's interest because now he figures, oh my god, it was one of them. So it's patricide. And so this is where she pulls him aside and she talks about what you just mentioned, how he's still upset about Father Frank dying and that he's mad at God. But she doesn't want him to project
My
his
dad.
feelings.
And she
she
just
did,
is like,
okay,
okay.
whatever. But she doesn't want him to project his feelings onto the case, which of course means that he's definitely going to project
Chloe,
his
I
feelings.
mean, it's a losing battle. Like you're just gotta let that go because every single thing will be projected from here until the very end.
She's trying though. But then, just as Chloe is saying that not everything is about your parents, a patrol officer comes in and tells her that her sister is at the scene. And then she's like, I don't have a sister. But then a woman walks in, and then we meet Penelope Decker. And like I said, I thought she was, as soon as I saw her, I recognized her and I thought she was gonna be evil. But and I guess she kind of is in a way evil for Chloe, but
Just in like the normal mummy issues way.
yeah, yeah. But Lucifer's starstruck because because they've established before that he's a fan of her movies, like her
Hmm.
cheesy. What did he call her? Cheesy sci-fi queen or something?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
she's just like turning up the charm, and he is turning up the charm, and Chloe is like throwing up in my mouth a little bit.
but like their interaction was so cute. Their banter was
Mhm.
so like spot on. Like they have the same like bubbly kind of energy, and
Chaotic.
it's to the point where like Lucifer starts insulting Chloe because he's like praising her, Penelope, saying, "Oh my god, how old can you be having a daughter this old?" And she stops and asks, "How old are you?" And I liked how like he's like praising her. What did he say? Her refined taste. He turns to
Yeah.
Chloe and says, "What happened to you?"
Hmm. Chloe's just
And
like, hmm, can we get back to
it's like that classic, like when like someone meets your parents and they obviously think that your parents are really cool, even though you don't.
absolutely. You're like, what are you seeing that I have not seen for the last X number of years of my life?
Penelope decides that she wants to have family dinner, and she, into Chloe's horror, she invites Lucifer. He says yes.
Of course he does. Let the chaos begin.
So she gets her to leave, and then the interviews begin. They say that Javier drew things when he was angry, but that's kind of typical with a chef, I
I mean,
think. Most people assume that a chef gets really angry in his kitchen, so it's kind of stereotypical stuff
Gordon
there. She,
Ramsay has prepped us all for,
yeah.
2 pieces of bread and who's an idiot sandwich. So I do like the way they filmed this though, where like it's sort of montage like where
Yeah.
they do that every once in a while with like especially interrogations, and they're kind of like, yeah, he threw things, he got mad at me, I couldn't do anything right, and then it switches immediately to, but I loved him, he was like a father to me, he was this, he was that. And then of course we get to like the final interview, and Lucifer is so bored at this point.
Yeah, because he mocks him. He's basically right, right. He was
Yeah,
like a
yeah, he's
father
like
to
your
you.
father.
But it's like, oh no, wait, he actually was my father. And so the usually I think by this point they've established that Lucifer finds some kind of person to latch onto where he kind of just figures this person is just like me. If I solve their problem, I can solve my own problem. And so the person for this episode is Junior because Junior like went astray. He didn't like his father. He didn't like what his father had planned for him, and so he left. And so Lucifer
He
sees all the
rebelled.
parallel. Yeah, he sees all the parallels between himself and Junior, and so this is why he feels like I've got to figure this guy out because then I can figure out myself. At this point, oh yeah, so Lucifer uses his power on Junior, and he says that his desire was to have one last meal with his dad. And he actually did
Lucifer's
have this.
disappointed.
Yeah. It's like, what do you mean? I don't want to have one last meal with my dad. Where? Chloe forces Lucifer to sit down, and then this, I think, like you said, this is where Lucifer starts to get kind of aggravated because Junior says that they were actually getting along at their meal, and that he had
Yeah.
something to tell him. And Chloe asks if the restaurant passes to Junior now, but he says he doesn't deserve the place. And so this is something that I wanted to highlight because it'll come up later at the end. And there was something I was confused about. So this leads Chloe to wonder about who is inheriting the restaurant. And then we go to Lynn's office, and she's talking to someone. And I don't know. You kind of assume she's talking to Lucifer because that's who she usually is talking to, right?
Yeah.
But then it turns out she's talking to Maze.
Uh
Oh, it's the start of a chaotic, beautiful friendship.
Exactly. There's a few of those in this episode.
But she's like saying that Linda helps Lucifer, so maybe Linda can help her too, because she feels stuck in a place she doesn't belong and she doesn't feel that she's going to be going anywhere anytime soon. She needs to figure out how to be more normal. And it's hilarious that this is what Maze has come to her about. I want to be more normal.
Tell me what to do to be normal.
In that super demanding voice, right?
Yes, like
Just
maze, like tell me or I'm gonna kill you
fix
kind
me
of
right now.
maze way. And of course Linda is like, that's not how this works. That's not what a therapist does.
Poor
And
thing, Linda always has to explain her role to these people.
just like always the like she's the therapist to this, celestials that don't get it at all.
But the maze in this scene was just so spot on. Like just
Yes.
the maze that she's crafted so far. Like Leslie
Yeah.
is so good in this part. Like
Yeah.
especially when she like gets the idea that, oh, do I need to sleep with you too to get good
Oh.
therapy?
And for a second, and many a fanfic was born, I think. You see like Linda be like, no, no, no.
I'm
I
good.
I have to stop doing that. I can't.
So Linda tells her she has to make friends. And this really upsets me. And she gets up and she leaves, saying it was a mistake. Then the next scene, we get Malcolm
Like it's the
in.
worst possible thing anybody could ever have said. Like you have to be nice to people and make friends. No, anything but that.
That's normal. That can't be right.
Ugh, it's the worst.
Next, we go to Malcolm in a car eating, of course. He's very messily eating a sandwich while
Mhm.
driving. And he's talking to Dan, and Dan is telling him that he's going to put a stop to whatever he's planning. This is foreshadowing for later, because Malcolm reveals that he wants to kill Lucifer. And he's kind of pitching it as he's doing a favor to Dan because he spent so much time with Chloe. But I don't know, they start going head to head on this, and Malcolm
Yep.
tells him if he wants to take another shot at him, he shouldn't miss this time.
Hmm.
So that kind of ramps things up between them. And then back at the restaurant, Chloe interviews the sous chef because the last time we saw her, she was wondering who gets the restaurant. And I think she has since found out that the restaurant goes to the sous chef and Martin.
Yes,
She was the one who cooked his last meal. I think it was a breakfast because,
it
right?
was. Yep.
Yeah, she said that he has breakfast every morning and then he goes to do shopping. That's why he was at the grocery store.
Hmm.
Can you imagine grocery shopping and some dude starts bleeding from his eyes and collapses?
No, I don't
Ha.
want to. I would be like, I'm never coming to this grocery store.
For real. Oh my god. I would be so traumatized.
It's part from here on out, folks.
For real. Oh my goodness. I certainly wouldn't hang out to shop for strawberries.
No.
Well, we'll just say that she saw Lucifer and was captivated by him. That's
Hmm.
that's what
Hmm.
compelled her to stay. Okay, so while they're talking to her, Chloe gets a text, and so while she's reading that, Lucifer uses his power on Anne, and she says that her desire is that she wanted to surpass Javier. Chloe says that the poison used to kill the chef was mercury, which sounds kind of painful.
Hmm. I mean, generally bleeding from your
Yeah.
orifices is like not great. It's probably not
Yeah.
comfortable.
So the sous chef Anne starts to have stomach pain. Lucifer hilariously thinks that it's his effect on women.
Like, yes, a stomach ache. That's what I bring out in you. You make me sick, literally. He's maybe been hanging out with Chloe too long, I think.
Yeah, probably. It was funny because during that scene, I kept thinking, wow, his shirt is so nice and crisp and white. And I think it
Hmm.
was like that because they wanted the blood to look so like
Because he
starkly
does wear a lot
contrast.
of black on black on
Yeah,
black for the rest of
yeah.
the episode, which was He was traumatized by what happened to his white shirt.
And it's so funny because Anne is taken away, and then they go to Lucifer, who's now wearing this hideous restaurant T-shirt.
And it's so funny because Lucifer looks so wrong in a t-shirt. Like just
He looks small too. He's kind of like his
yeah,
shoulders are kind of slumped, and he. I think at one point Chloe looks at him. He's sniffing the T-shirt, like.
he is. Yeah, it's actually such a nice little moment because Tom Ellis is in t-shirts all the time. Like it's such a weird thing, but then you suddenly realize like the difference because in
Lucifer,
the
yeah.
role, like Lucifer would not normally be caught dead in a t-shirt.
Especially even if it's like a restaurant that he really likes.
No, it's a t-shirt. Like, ugh, probably not even, it's like a cotton blend. Ew.
So Lucifer suggests that Junior is now a stronger suspect because their suspicion is off of the chef because she's been poisoned too.
She has just vomited blood all over Lucifer's white shirt, so
Yeah.
they're like, oh, whoa.
Although Chloe wonders if she was poisoned separately and why did she survive this, and meanwhile Javier didn't survive. So she's like already thinking things that have become
Hmm.
relevant later. Um, Lucifer says that Junior seemed like a very troubled young man, and Chloe just snarks at him. Yeah, it's almost like his dad just died, which is totally fair. Come on.
Hmm.
Dan arrives and he's brought a file on someone named Naomi Austin who got fired from the restaurant. And they learn that Chloe remembers her name. And she goes back into her interview notes, I think, and she says that Naomi had showed up a couple days ago and had a fight with both of the chefs. So that makes her a suspect. And while Dan is leaving, Chloe stops him and tells him about her mother's family dinner. As is understandable, he understands that she has a complicated relationship with
Yeah.
her mother and that she wants someone to be there so that she doesn't have to be alone with her mother.
Hmm.
And, and he agrees to go, which is nice of him. And then, since they're gonna go look for Naomi, Lucifer asks if they can make a stop for him to change his clothes because yeah, he doesn't want to wear it. It
No.
would look
He's like, this
ridiculous
is
if
a loner.
Also, it would be kind of weird if you show up to question someone about a murder and you're wearing the T-shirt of the place that.
Yes, it would be weird.
But yeah, so when they show up at Naomi's apartment, he's now wearing his black shirt, or at least a very dark gray shirt
Yeah,
with
yeah.
another black jacket.
The kind of shirt that blood won't show up on
Yeah,
should
just in,
someone else,
just in
you know.
case. Chloe is looking into the window and she sees all kinds of like, I guess, evidence of like drug use. I think she actually says heroin at some while she's looking in the
Hmm.
window. But she turns around and the front door is open and and Lucifer's already inside and he's going through a backpack of clothes. It's like, what is it about this that makes it funny that he's just so rude and like doing whatever the hell he wants?
And yet, I think it's partly funny because it's what Chloe wishes she could do because yeah, there's no
Yeah.
one home and she wants to be able to just go through the things and find evidence, but she's not allowed to. And then Lucifer just does it. And she's like, oh, well, I guess since it's already open, we'll just go through this. Although I do have a question about this, and it seems like a weird little plot hole, which is Naomi is supposed to be like she says she goes to see her sponsor, so she's supposed to be clean, and
Yeah, and yet
Junior
there
is
was
supposed to be clean,
I
and yet there's
know.
like all this drug stuff,
That's what I
like
was
orange
thinking
juice in
too.
glasses still, and I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I didn't get that either. I was like, because I mean, she said she's been having a rough time, but she
Mhm.
actually, I don't know, like, I wouldn't think that Junior would stay there if
If
she's
she
back
were
on.
using in front of him, like it just doesn't
Yeah,
seem like a. Mhm.
but they don't go into that, so we just have
No.
to just make up our own excuses and
Exactly. It's like how
explanations.
this is yet another one of the longest days of all time with there has not been an evening. There's not this is just every day is like 82 hours long in this universe because they've been driving all over and they're not done yet.
At least it starts in the morning, though.
At least.
I thought it was funny that Lucifer wonders why their Christmas tree was still up, and it's like
Mhm.
almost like I don't know. Do you think he thinks of it as like a personal dig to him that it just so happens that
Maybe.
this celebration of Christianity is still up right in this apartment?
Yeah, it's funny because they kind of, I mean, obviously they go to churches sometimes but they don't really, they never address the Christ part of
Yeah,
Christianity.
yeah. So Chloe says that they aren't supposed to be there, so they should search the place real fast.
Mm,
And he loves this. But then while they're searching, Lucifer hears a couple having sex next door. And he seems immediately irritated because I guess he
mhm.
can sense what she's about to say. And then she says
Yeah.
it. She says, "Oh God."
Hmm.
And that causes Chloe to laugh at him. And she laughs at him a couple times this episode, which I thought was
Yeah.
amusing. And Lucifer says that she wouldn't understand because her mother is delightful.
Delightful.
And I loved earlier when Penelope called Lucifer delicious.
Hmm. I thought that was also funny, especially since it's an episode about food.
Yeah. And she says, of course he likes her mother.
Of course. Of course.
And when he asks her to explain, Chloe says that her mother is like a child and that all she ever wanted to do was dress Chloe up and take her to auditions. Lucifer takes the opportunity to make another dig at Chloe. Says, "Oh," he asks how she handled it, other than taking her anger out on criminals. And at this point, oh my god! So the board shorts thing. What does Lucifer have against board shorts? Because he says board shorts don't know what more proof you need that he's deranged.
Because they're a fashion faux pas beyond anything he can handle. That's like he just is like, ugh, they're so, I don't know, it's like Crocs. I don't know. He's just like, oh, so bad. That's why the t-shirt wasn't working for him.
I wish our listeners could see the face you were just making. It was perfect.
Y'all are missing out. You're missing out on just how much stuff happens on this face.
But so at this point, Chloe notices a crooked painting on the wall and she finds a tiny bag of drugs behind the frame, which I thought was weird. Like, why? What? What caught her attention about it? Like, just that it was crooked?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess because she figured they put it back crooked.
Yeah, it had been moved a bunch.
So at this point, Naomi comes home. She wants to know what the heck they're doing. And Lucifer says he's a heroin inspector. And her spoons are not up to what do you say? Your spoons are not up to some. I don't know. The quality of her spoons was bad or
Yes.
something.
Hmm. These are not great, not great spoons for cooking up your.
And so Naomi admits that she did go to see Pops, but it was because she wanted to make peace with him, which obviously didn't go well because people had reported that they were yelling at each other.
Hmm.
But it was because she used to date Junior and he never approved of her, which fair because, she's a druggie or was one. But she says that she didn't go to the meal that Junior had with Pops, and because he
Because
wanted to,
Junior wanted to be
yeah, he
alone. He
wanted to
wanted to
go
have,
alone.
yeah.
Yeah, and so she went to meet with her sponsor. And so Lucifer feels that this is more proof that Junior is the murderer. Chloe puts an APB out on Junior, and they go outside, and she remarks that Lucifer seems to have it out for Junior. And
Hmm.
and so why do you think that is? Is it because he wants it to be that Junior killed his dad so that he can get some kind of satisfaction out of that? Because
I think too, it's like there's some aspect of like he didn't kill his dad, but he disappointed him, and everybody thinks that he basically, like I said, I think he's sort of like
well, no, but at
seeing
this
his.
point he still thinks that he killed his dad, right? So he
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, Lucifer kind of, he's projecting still, like, so he's sort of projecting that he
wishes he could have been the one
wishes
to.
he could have. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
All right.
But does he? Like that's Lucifer's complicated relationship with his dad. He
So
says he wants to, you know, says he hates him and says he would kill him and he says he would do all that. But does he? Does he
yeah.
want to? We don't know.
So did you notice the random mattress just on the in the parking lot outside the apartment?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be there to like show how slummy it is.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, so I'm just as your local Vancouver guide, it's like that row of buildings is so stereotypically like Vancouver apartment housing. It's it's just, and when they're in the apartment, I'm like, oh yeah, I lived in an apartment with that same layout because there's
Oh,
so
that's
many
funny.
apartments in this city that have that exact same layout. But where it is in like I don't know like the exact location, but it's like now those apartments probably rent for like $3,000 a month. So,
Yikes.
yeah, yeah,
I
it's a
just
great
find it
place.
funny that they were just like, how do we trash up this place? Throw a
Let's
mattress
put
over there.
just put a junky mattress, probably got bed bugs. Ah, yeah, no, it's such, I mean, weirdly, that is a site that I've seen many a time for real. So I think that was just their like way of showing that it's
Not in a great part
not
of town.
not in a great part of town. We couldn't afford the junk truck to get it to the dump. We had just threw it outside. Yeah. But I did notice the mattress as well because I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, so Chloe gets a call, and oh my god, it's an emergency. And she
Mhm.
just leaves Lucifer there, and I was just like, wait, what? But I mean, you can see
That's what Lucifer
patrol.
said too.
Yeah, he's like, you gotta stop doing this. But you can see patrol officers, so it's not like she like
Mhm.
left him. So he had other ways to get back somewhere. Chloe, her emergency takes her home. She arrives to find Penelope dressing Trixie up, and Trixie is so excited because she says she's going to be in a movie. And this is exactly what Chloe had just been
Chloe
telling
is
Lucifer
triggered.
about. Yeah, exactly. Penelope explains that she's up for a new role and that she thought it would be good to play off of Trixie, which as bubbly and nice as she comes off, that's still kind of a low thing
Yeah.
to do for a
Yeah.
grandma, to go
Hmm.
take your granddaughter, dress her up, and like try to use her to get on the good side of the casting director. It's kind of
Yeah.
not great. Chloe pulls her aside and they have a fight about it. She says, like, how can you do this without asking my permission? Which, oh my God, as a mom, yeah, you don't just,
These are legitimate questions that
yes,
he can and should raise.
yes. Like, even if, like, Chloe was not, like, didn't have these issues and she was just a cop, like, never an actress kind of thing and never
Yeah.
had this kind of thing in her own childhood, I feel like those are valid things to, like, demand of a grandparent. You don't just take your
No.
granddaughter to something like this. It's just, especially dressing her up like that too. So, but
Hmm.
I think the dressing up is probably also what triggers Chloe too, is because
Yes.
she tells Lucifer that her mom used to doll her up and take her to auditions. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And we know that Chloe did spend some time in that world and it didn't go particularly well. So
yeah,
it's like she's pretty genuinely triggered by it because it was bad. It's part of the reason why she doesn't have a great relationship with her mom.
yeah. And it's funny too that like her two careers are her parents' careers,
Yeah.
right? So it says something about Chloe that she must have really looked up to both of her parents in some
Yeah.
way at least. But yeah, she looks at Trixie to say something to her, I think, but she finds her gone. And she's looking around, but it's like the front door is wide open. So I think
Yeah.
she would have immediately been like, "Oh my god, did she leave?" And it turns out she did leave. She calls friends, she calls neighbors, and no one's seen her. And finally, she gets a notification on her phone that Trixie ordered a ride through her Uber account. Which, how did she do that without her phone
Maybe she, mm,
on the
I
computer?
don't know.
Trixie
I
has
don't
access
know.
to the internet, so I don't know. We'll
And
see.
you know Trixie is sneaky, so she probably just knows mom's username and password.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. She seems like the type of smart, sharp little girl who will just look over her mom's shoulder and
absolutely. She's like,
Chloe won't even notice.
I'm gonna need this information later. I'm gonna save it. I don't need to use it right now, but sometime.
And Chloe seems like the type who would type in her password with the eye revealed,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
so not hidden.
And I bet she does not have a unique password for every uh app.
And maybe doesn't even type her password that fast. So,
No,
or like maybe even eating while typing in her password slow enough so that Trixie can remember the password.
exactly.
Penelope asks, "Where did she go?" And then we go to Lux, which is one of my favorite scenes.
Uh,
Oh my god.
yeah, I know. I love this scene so much.
The music is perfect too. Just it's so
Mhm.
cute. So Trixie arrives. He asks Maze if Lucifer's there, and Lucifer or Maze turns around very grumpily and asks, "Who are you supposed to be?" And Trixie says she's Lucifer's friend. I love
Which is
her
like
reaction,
the cutest thing, though.
but the way she reacts,
Oh my God.
his friends get worse and worse.
I know. It's
The scene
so
is so
funny.
good.
I know. It's just, it's so delightful, and like their interactions are so delightful,
And
and it's just perfect.
it just comes out of nowhere because you never would think that Trixie and Maze would get along so well.
No,
It's
no,
not anything that I think any first time watcher probably would have imagined.
no.
So it just catches you by surprise in the best
And then it
way.
works so
Yeah.
well, and it's so cute, and it's played just so straight. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's the other thing. Like, 'cause sometimes the it comes down to like the acting, like can they sell it? And in this case, like I just buy from the first minute that they are making friends, basically. Like, and I I just love Trixie. Like, the only time that we, the audience, have ever seen her interact with Lucifer, Lucifer is like, oh, like every time. And yet Trixie is just like, he's my friend. He cheers me up. And you're like, oh,
Oh.
you're so cute. And also, I bet, like, I just always feel like she has a bit of she sees past all the Luciferness.
Yeah.
And yeah.
She sees who he is.
Hmm.
But so Maze actually pours her a drink before they start talking. I remember being a little worried. I was like, wait,
Of
she's not gonna let
whiskey. Like,
it's like she's not gonna let her drink that, is she? Uh, and it's so cute that like they have this typical like bartender and person down in their life kind of
yes.
conversation. And you never would, like I said, you never would expect this with an 8-year old. But she like
Hmm.
pours out her heart to May. She's like, I don't like when people fight over me, and it used to be her mom and dad, and now it's her grandma and her mom. And Maze asks her, which one wants to dress you up like an old drag queen?
It's so funny.
Trixie explains that they're fighting over what she'll be when she grows up, and this is something that tons and tons I've seen tons and tons of fans fixate on,
Yes.
including me,
Hmm.
because Maze asks Trixie what she wants to be. She says, "I want to be the president of Mars or a zookeeper."
Hmm.
And Maze smiles and says she used to be a zookeeper, and
Of sorts.
and Trixie's like, "Oh, that's so cool." But
Hmm.
then she asks if the drink is a Shirley Temple, and Maze grabs a maraschino cherry and throws it in and says, "Sure." And I'm just like,
Sure.
"Oh no, this scene is this scene is officially going sideways right now." And then Chloe comes in. Phew.
Yeah. They cheers first. Like they have their like clinking glasses.
Oh my god, Maze. You gotta have that part of Maze in there, otherwise it's
Hmm.
not true to her character.
Exactly.
Ah. But she asks why she ran away, and she says she wanted to see Lucifer, and he wasn't there, so she made a new friend. And that's when Maze perks up because she's like, "Oh, that's what Linda told me to do."
A friend.
And then Trixie asks her what her name is. She says, "I'm
I also love that
Mazikeen."
Trixie is the type who's like, this is my new friend. I don't even know her name yet, but she's my new friend.
Yeah.
What's your name?
And Maze tells her that her name is Mazikeen, but you can call me Maze. And then Chloe, this is very predictable, but it's so good anyway.
It's
Chloe
still
says,
funny.
"Thank." Chloe says, "Thank you, May." She says, "I didn't say you could."
I did not extend that offer to you.
The disdain in her voice and her
So
face
good.
is she's so good at it.
I know.
So we go back to the apartment and oh my god, it's nighttime and Lucifer is still waiting there. I guess though he's decided that he wants to wait for Junior to show up.
Yeah.
So he's waited there intentionally. It's not like he got stuck there.
No.
He's chosen to stay there. Although at first I thought, "Oh my god, he's still there." But he's just lying on the couch when Junior climbs into the window and he asks him how it feels. He tells him, "Oh, did you come for the heroin? Because the police took it, but not all of it," implying
Hmm.
that he finished some of it.
Hmm.
Ah. So he asks Junior how it feels to be free of his father, but Junior insists that he didn't kill his dad. Junior pulls out a knife. Lucifer's like, "Whoa, wait a minute," but he
Hey
wasn't.
now.
But he's not threatening him. He's just showing it to him because the knife is all that he has left from his dad. And then Lucifer picks up that he's actually not happy that his dad is dead. And
Finally,
so,
Lucifer picks up.
yeah. But that's what convinces him that he didn't kill his dad. So next we get Chloe and Trixie getting home, and
Also after
Penelope.
dark.
Yeah.
Like, even though it was bright, sunny, blue sky when
They
Trixie first left,
just pick up the light and it's
it was
nighttime.
really bad traffic today for some reason.
They get home and it's time for the family dinner, and oh my god, it is such a family dinner.
Hmm.
Penelope tries to explain, but Chloe just tells her that she wants to have dinner. That's when Dan gets there and he's got a whole chocolate cake in his hand. And Penelope is super happy to see him. I guess she got along with Dan when Chloe and Dan were still
Yeah.
together. He remarks that the food smells amazing, and Chloe makes a really snarky remark. "Yeah, Mom, where'd you buy the home cooked meal?" It's like,
Hmm.
which I thought was really aggressive of her, just the way that she says it. But then Penelope says that Lucifer is providing the meal. And oh my god, I love the reaction from Dan because he's just like, "Huh? Lucifer's here?"
Lucifer.
Ah, this is Dan's life in a nutshell, really. Lucifer's here?
Hmm.
But Penelope says that he brought a friend and that they've been there a while. Lucifer comes out of the kitchen. He's wearing an apron that says "Kiss the chef." Of course he is.
Of course he is.
Okay, so I want to ask, do you think that's Chloe's apron or did Lucifer bring that?
I mean, I found myself wondering the same thing because I'm like, it doesn't look like a Chloe thing.
Yeah, yeah.
He's just like, wait, we have to stop. I need a costume change. Kiss the chef apron.
Maybe they went to a grocery store to shop
Hmm.
for his ingredients and he was just like, "Oh,
He
I'm
had to
getting
get it
that."
while he was there. Yeah.
Yeah. But Trixie gets excited and shrieks, "Lucifer!" And she
Hmm.
lunges for him, but he has another one of those reactions where he's like,
Good, get back.
"Oh." And
But Trixie's like, he cheers me up. Oh, she's like, you may act like you don't like me, but
I know
I
you
know.
do. But then, oh my god, so this is where Dan does something that I was actually surprised that Chloe didn't protest against, but I guess desperate times.
Exactly. She does think that there's a murderer cooking their dinner,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
you
So
know.
Dan tells her that she gets to eat chocolate cake in bed. Sh- She's a little suspicious, but he asked, "Oh, does it matter?" And she's like, "Nope." She just takes the cake in her hand
Yeah,
and goes to her room. Oh my god, I cannot imagine what she's like afterwards, eating as much of that cake as she wants. She's not gonna finish the whole cake, I don't think, because
isn't she? That just sounds like a challenge.
okay, that's a fair point. Oh my god, I love this part when Chloe takes Lucifer aside and she says, "You brought a guy suspected of murder by poisoning to cook for my family." Her delivery is so good in this
I know. And
because
Lucifer too, like he's just got this like, because he's like,
he's
no,
so
I've
clueless.
decided that this guy is not a murderer, so
So it's all good.
it's all good.
But he tells her that if she had arrested him, that he was just going to lawyer up. But now they can have a nice meal, and she can interview him and get all of the answers she wants because he believes he's innocent. And this surprises Chloe because he's been so hell bent on proving that Junior killed his father. But after Junior serves dinner, Chloe tells Penelope, "Don't eat that."
Mhm.
The way that this was scripted and the way it played out,
It's
it
so good.
was it was such a train wreck, but it was such a
Mhm.
entertaining watch. The way that they scripted it out was just
And
magically
it really is
toxic family dinner.
so everybody's personality is just on display at like their worst, but
Yeah.
it works so beautifully because it's in character. But oi.
And like the way that Rebecca De Mornay like plays,
Mhm.
she's really good at being the oblivious
You
newcomer
want to
to
kill me
the
now?
no, but also just
Fine.
like the whole like just her reactions, as Chloe's explaining, she's like, "You do?
Yes.
You are?"
Mhm.
Her reactions were just nicely timed. Like,
Yes. There's
sh
such good timing in this whole thing. Like it's just good.
yeah, because Junior pleads with Chloe that he didn't do it, but he only has his word. And Lucifer blurts out that Chloe may want to kill her mother because Chloe thinks she's a child and forced her to grow up too quickly. And it's like Dan is just looking on at this conversation in complete horror. And oh my god,
Like,
I think
dude,
it's like, what is wrong with
Ixnay,
you?
that was not for repetition. And, but I do love that the way that Lucifer kind of drops all these bombs, like he's not doing it to stir. I mean, the number of times he has done things to, stir shit just for shits and giggles, like Lucifer does that all the time. But in this scene, he's not actually trying
Yeah,
to like make anybody mad or even like rib them or anything. He's just like, well, this is the situation. Like,
yeah.
th- and he's
It's
kind of doing
because
his
he's
like
so
honesty.
focused on
Yes.
yeah,
But and so he's just like open mouth, insert both feet, and doesn't get it. Doesn't
but
get it.
Dan tells him he's way out of line, and Lucifer laughs and says, "Look at how quick he is to leap to her defense." And then he says, "Maybe you're closer to getting back together than I thought." And this is where Penelope's like, "You are?" And I love the separate reactions from Dan and Chloe because
Hmm.
she's just like, "No," and he's like, "Yeah, it's kind of like looking that way." It's just so awkward for him. Oh my god. And Chloe mentions, "Oh, it's just one kiss." And Lucifer's like, "Oh, so you're kissing now."
Hmm. Maybe that's why you won't have sex with me.
Penelope laughs at Chloe because she's juggling two men.
Ooh.
And then she throws in, "Well, what do I know? I'm just a child."
Yeah.
Then in the middle
Yes.
of this, Junior starts laughing and he says that that's what he was like with his dad. He used to fight about the dumbest things and that's why he left. But then he has like a sorry, Lucifer, come to Jesus moment.
Yes.
That even though his dad did all these things to him and forced all these things on him, he still made him who he is. And that in the end, he did want to become a chef.
Mm.
So, yeah, he's proud of who he is. And he says that the reason he wanted to meet with his dad was because he had come to tell him that he got clean and he wanted to be a chef again. And that was the meal that he cooks for Lucifer and Chloe is the meal that he was going to cook for his dad. So I guess, see, this confused me a little bit because he did go have a meal with his dad. I guess he was planning to have another meal with his dad
Yeah.
after that initial breakfast,
Yeah.
but he never got to because
Exactly. He didn't cook the breakfast.
yeah,
He just went to meet dad over breakfast cooked by someone else.
yeah. So Chloe tells him that they still need him to go to the station to make a statement. And I thought it was interesting that she says, "Oh, I have to come downtown," because I don't think I ever thought about where their station is. Because I guess I kind of thought it was more toward the north area of LA because she's often in like the Hollywood area, I guess. It's kind of far,
Crystal,
right?
you can't think about these things. It's like the traffic.
Because, yeah,
There's
I mean,
one police department in the entire city, and
and they have
they
shortcuts.
have teleporters that teleport them to the different parts of LA.
I think
Um,
maybe it's because I before I watched or when I watched Lucifer, I hadn't yet watched all the shows that have like Hollywood station based kind of TV shows like
yeah.
Bosch and Bosch Legacy and The Rookie. They're all based in Hollywood.
Hmm.
So like that those two shows have made me very much aware that there's like entire stations based up in
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Yeah. And like you don't bounce between them. You would have a
Yeah,
jurisdiction.
I mean even getting from the airport to Hollywood is like at least 45 minutes, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's yeah,
pretty far in traffic.
exactly. And like Chloe's living down in like freaking Malibu right now, so like good luck. That's it's yeah, we don't think about driving time or else it doesn't make sense. Also remember, this is still the same day. The same day. The longest day of all time.
It's just funny because like when you like nitpick this kind of thing, she wouldn't have most of these cases.
No, absolutely not.
Not if she works from downtown.
No.
So Penelope says that she's lost her appetite, and Chloe asks Lucifer if he's happy, and he says no because Junior's situation doesn't apply to him at all, which is that whole Lucifer selfish moment for the
Mhm.
episode
It,
where he's
it's when Lucifer is lucky that he did not get murdered by Chloe, honestly, because she kind of looks like she might want to kill him at that point.
but she walks away and she goes to work at her desk, which I think is I'm trying to figure out the layout because the living room that she talks to Penelope in then is from the in the back, right?
I think so.
Like there's two entrances to the house, right? On the first
Yes, I
floor.
think so. I think so. Yeah, there's
There's
one
one
like by the
one by the
kitchen
kitchen.
and the one that Trixie goes through, which
Yeah.
is the one that overlooks the ocean.
Yeah. Lucifer approaches her awkwardly. He can tell that he's done something wrong. He tells her that he's cleaned up, but he actually just means he ate all the food. He notes that she's still working on the case, and she looks up at him, very irritated, and says that he was right. Junior is innocent because the lab called her and told her that the heroin didn't match. So this is something that confused me too, because why are they calling the heroin the murder weapon? Because was it? I thought the food was poisoned.
Hmm.
So why do they keep
Maybe the,
talking about the heroin? Like
maybe
heroin was
they
in the mercury? Because it was mercury poisoning. She said it earlier.
yes, but the mercury was in the heroin.
Oh, okay. So does
Again, it
heroin
doesn't
and does heroin mercury not have any taste? What did she do? Did she sprinkle it on, or I,
we don't need much. I think that's the thing. Like I not that I'm, up to date on killing people with mercury, but I think mercury is very toxic. So you don't need very much of it.
but I see. I don't understand why they keep calling the heroin the murder weapon because I thought the mercury was the murder weapon. But maybe
They also know that there was heroin, and they
okay.
must think that the heroin was laced with the mercury to use as the murder weapon.
Is it in heavier system? Is that where they're getting
Hmm.
it from?
Hmm.
Okay.
But yes, that's a fair point. Like what there's some like little missing connection point there.
And also, is heroin that unique that you can
I
match
don't know. Like
match
maybe,
batches? I don't
well, my,
understand on a chemical level.
like, chemistry side of podcast listeners, could you please give us a step by step on
we,
how
we have to we have to consult with Carla. Carla's our science
exactly?
lady.
I was thinking about this too, because I'm also like, my earlier question about if they're clean, why is there so much drug paraphernalia around? And then I was
Yeah.
like, oh, well, maybe if the drug paraphernalia and everything had been set up to frame
Naomi
to Naomi
and
or
Junior.
to frame Junior, but then I'm like, but then why wouldn't it be the same heroine? Because
Yeah.
neither of them actually was supposed to have heroin.
Well, she had some hidden away, I guess, because she's still in recovery. So,
Maybe. Yeah.
so Lucifer and Chloe talk through it, and Lucifer's because Chloe doesn't understand why the heroin was used at all when you could have just
Hmm.
poisoned him with the mercury, especially since it doesn't match. Lucifer says, "Well, maybe it was to frame Junior," and she says the only other suspect got poisoned too. And they talk about how maybe she only poisoned herself enough to chase away suspicion. And so that makes her think, and she calls the hospital and she learns that Anne Martin checked herself out against medical orders. So next we go to the restaurant. Lucifer and Chloe catch Anne destroying her murder weapon heroin. And she insists again that she would never want him dead. And so this is where Chloe figures out that she actually meant to kill Junior
Hmm.
and that she hadn't realized that Junior stopped eating meat when he was away.
Mm,
And so Javier ate his food, and that's how he got poisoned.
yeah.
And Anne tells him that Junior didn't deserve it, but he was still the favorite. And then she knocks. What does she knock over?
That's the fryer. So it's full of like the
The
fryer
oil.
oil. Yeah. That's why it goes
Okay.
up so fast.
Okay.
But also, like, hello, she is super strong, apparently,
I
because those
know,
things
for
are
real.
not light.
I know it's full of oil.
Dude, I did
I-
one summer cooking in a kitchen with a fryer like that, and I was like, yeah, no, you don't, it's heavy.
but also, I would think that they would be like secured so you can't tip it
Yeah.
over.
I mean, it is not something that you would want to. But maybe she had already. Okay, this is us. Like, maybe she had already kind of like loosened it because she planned to
I'll set the place on
burn the
fire.
place down.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it all seemed a little like she already had like a match out. And she already had like so maybe she was just about to burn the place down
But
anyways.
I also feel like stuff got cut from this scene because
Yeah.
I'm gonna go into that in a little bit. So Chloe doesn't know because they're trapped in the flames in the kitchen, and Chloe doesn't know
Hmm.
what to do, and so Lucifer starts talking to his dad, and I'm sure this alarms Chloe because she's like, "I
Hmm.
don't have
Close
time
it
for
great.
this. I don't have time for this craziness of yours. We're gonna die,"
Hmm.
and because he's telling his dad, "This is not how I'm gonna go down," and Chloe tells him, "Well, if you have any ideas, now is the time," because she feels like
Yeah.
they're gonna burn to death in this
We are gonna
kitchen.
die. Like.
But next we see Lucifer smashing down the front door, and he's walking out with Chloe in his arms, and his jacket is covering her face to protect her from the smoke. And then she sounds really demanding for somebody whose life he's just saved. She's like, "Put
Yeah,
me
like
down."
you're down, Chloe. Like, thank you.
I know. And we see that he burnt his arm, and he makes a funny remark about, could it be any more ironic that the devil gets burned by a fire? And we know because of later why he's able to get burned in this point.
Hmm.
Chloe laughs, and it turns out she's laughing because she has the bag of heroin. But how did she get it? I don't understand. Because
She
Anne
summoned it
had
with the
it.
power of her mind.
That's one of the reasons why I think something got cut. Because Anne had the heroin. She found it behind the
Maybe
stove where
she
she hid it.
did. Maybe when she pushed over the fryer and lit the stuff on fire, maybe she also threw the heroin in there to like burn it,
But then
and
wouldn't it
Chloe
have
picked
gone
it
up
up.
in flames? It looked
You would think, but Chloe used uh
because it's in
plot
a
magic.
it's in a flimsy plastic bag.
Yeah,
That thing
it's
would have
not.
melted instantly.
Little do you know, it's actually a flame-proof little plastic baggie, patent pending, and
Okay, so no, but see, so this is why part of the reason why I think something got cut.
yeah.
Because later on, Lucifer's getting treated for his burn, and Chloe tells him that Anne got arrested a few blocks away and that she'll be eating prison slop for a long time. And Lucifer jokes that it'll be her own personal hell. which foreshadowing. Um, but she thanks him for getting her out, and he jokes he couldn't have rushed out of there alone because how would that have looked? And
Hmm.
she says, "You're not. That's it. You're not going to thank me for saving you first." And so that's what makes me think that also that something got cut because what did she save him from? They didn't show anything that she saved him from. So I think there's a fight or some kind of struggle
Hmm.
that they cut, and that's how she was able to get the heroin. I think she struggled
Hmm.
with Anne. She took it from her at that point, and she was about to do something to Lucifer, but Chloe stopped her.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Fanfic writers, have you filled in this blank? Please send links to original show writers. Please, please let us know.
The way that it's presented as is just doesn't make sense. But
Yeah.
if there's like a if there's a missing scene, then it would make sense because then it
Hmm.
explains how she got the heroin, how
Yeah.
she feels that she saved Lucifer's life. But
Hmm.
yeah, without it, it just is
Like,
like, huh?
like Anne threatened Lucifer, and then Chloe like tackled her,
Yeah, yeah,
and
or
then
something.
while she's tackling her, also got the heroin that she put in her pocket or
Yeah.
something.
So, oh my
That's yeah.
god, the editors are criticizing the show editing here.
Look, this is why editing is important, but it's also why you should double check your work and have a
Yeah.
weird nerd look over your stuff for you so that you don't have these plot holes. Because there's always going to be a weird nerd who will be like,
Yeah.
hey,
And we have several weird nerds available for this kind of work
exactly,
on
our
this
rates
show.
are very reasonable. Not that reasonable, though. We're poor. Please pay us. No.
But so they go to talk to. So okay, so here's more evidence that something was missing, because they go to talk to Junior, and Chloe tells him that it turns out his father was going to leave him the restaurant. And I was just like, wait a minute, where did that come from? Because
Hmm.
nobody in the actual episode says that the
Hmm.
restaurant was actually that the Javier had changed his mind, was going to leave the restaurant to Junior. So I'm just like,
Yeah,
they
I think when I
they
saw it the first time, I just thought they meant like they'd seen a updated
paperwork or
will
something.
or something. Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't make sense.
I think it must have come out in this fight, this
Yeah,
imaginary
yeah,
hypothetical cutscene with Anne. I think that's where she revealed it, that he had told her that he was going to leave the restaurant. Because I mean,
yeah,
why else would she want to kill him? Because she must
yeah,
have known. So he must have told her after that, maybe
yeah.
before the meal, because she poisoned him at the meal.
Well, it makes sense actually, because if Naomi went a couple days ago and got into a fight
And
with
gave
both
them a
of
heads up.
and got in a fight with because she does say that it was both of them. It was like Anne and Javier. So
Hmm.
she said that Javier had gotten clean, right? And so at that point, Anne and Javier already knew that Junior was clean,
Hmm.
and maybe that was enough for Javier to be like, well, if he actually did get clean, then this
It should
place
go to
is
him.
his.
Yeah.
And Anne was like, what? I've been here the whole time, not
Yeah.
doing any drugs, and you're just
Yeah.
gonna pass it over like that? Kill that kid. And then,
Yeah. See, so it all makes sense if there is this scene that was
yes.
missing. So, yeah.
Yeah. This is why you hire editors, guys. Editors. Story editors. Story show editor. We don't know what happened to your scene. Like, we don't know why you thought that it was cut, but yeah, there was a plot hole.
It shows you how like something can make perfect sense, but if you cut one vital part out,
Mhm.
suddenly all the pieces fall apart,
It's
right?
a Jenga tower, right? Like you pulled the wrong block out of the Jenga
Yeah.
tower and it just fell right over. Like, ooh, that was load bearing. Oh.
So next we have Linda's. there were quite a lot of like finishing up the episode scenes in this one.
I was thinking the same thing. Each one I'm like, oh, this is no, it's not. There's another. Oh yeah, no, there's still more.
Yeah, because the murder or the case gets wrapped up, and there's still like 10 minutes left or something
Yes.
like that. And I was just like, "Whoa, there's so much left." But yeah, so one scene, the next scene is at Linda's. Maze has returned, and she's so proud to tell her that she made a
I
friend,
made a friend today.
an 8-year-old who wandered into the bar.
Linda's like,
Well, that's good, but
um,
maybe the next one can be of legal drinking age. But then I love the way that this segues into Maze being, I was thinking the same thing. Are you busy tonight? It's like,
hmm.
oh.
And
And
a friendship really was born at this moment.
it's so cute because Trixie has shown her that she can make friends and how
Yes,
to
and
make
it's
friends.
not as gross as she thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Next, we get Chloe coming home, and I like this scene a lot because it, as funny as the family dinner was, it was
You
actually
need
kind of
something.
it was sad
Hmm.
too because I
Hmm.
mean it's family toxicity, right? It's
Hmm.
strife. But she gets home and Penelope is waiting and she's drinking wine. She asks Chloe, "Oh, what happened?" Because she's covered in like ash and things
Hmm.
because of the fire, and she tells her, "Oh, I had a rough night. I could use a drink." And she offers her wine, and then Chloe
But
asks
do you
her,
not think it's weird that she offers her wine that she's drunk from when there's a clean glass and the bottle right in front of her? It bugs me every time because I'm like, I mean, sure, whatever. Like, I don't get cooties, but like, there's a glass right there.
"It's a
Also, why is
Penelope
she sitting
thing.
there with two glasses?
She's waiting for Chloe."
Shouldn't she have waited to pour her wine? I anyway, it's just my little weird thing. I'm like, you don't have to give me yours. You have spit in it. Like, just give me that one in the clean glass.
Chloe asks her why she's awake, and she says she has an early flight and she didn't want to leave without saying goodbye. And so, do you think she hadn't planned to leave and she just made plans to get out
Yeah,
of there?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because, when she's planning on taking Trixie to an audition, it seems like she's just gonna stay. And like you
Yeah.
don't take
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
to on a yeah.
And I think when she first came to the restaurant, she made like she had like bailed on like some kind of commitment already, right?
She said
The
she
convention
said that
circuit.
was exhausting.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think she probably left like a some kind of convention tour or something, and she probably wasn't supposed to. So maybe she's going back to what she was her original like slate of commitments or whatever. But yeah, so she apologizes to her for making her feel like she always had to be the adult and that she just wants her to be happy and that sometimes she wishes she would just take a leap, which is what leads to Chloe's leap coming up.
Hmm.
Because she looks over at a photo of her and Dan with Trixie. And so then we go to a warehouse where Dan and Malcolm are meeting. I guess LA has no shortage of shady places for two people to meet. But Malcolm is
That's
eating
what I've learned
again.
from TV.
Malcolm is eating again, but I don't know what is he eating at this point. It's like something that he holds in his hand, but it came in like a paper cup. Not like
Yeah.
or a paper bowl or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's like a weird one of those like almost like the French fry containers that
Or
are
something.
like
But it's
yeah,
kind
I
of
don't know.
wider. Yeah, but I
Hmm.
couldn't tell what he was. I thought it was pizza, but I don't know. It looks like a weird container for pizza. Point is, he was eating again. They always show
Again.
him eating.
Hmm.
And this was kind of surprising because he tells him that Lucifer is insane and deserves everything that's coming his way. But he says, "But I can't let you kill him." Which, okay, so Dan actually has found the good part of him, the good
Hmm.
cop
It's
in him.
there. There's a grain of it in
But he throws a pair of cuffs on the ground and he wants Malcolm to handcuff himself and says he's going to take him in. And Malcolm reminds him that, if I go down, you go down. He says, well, then I go down. So I think this is a really good moment for Dan
yeah.
because, he's on his redemption arc. He's coming to terms with what he did and feels like he's got to own up to it. But then, as he's taking him to the car, Malcolm punches him and he attacks him and they fight. And then Malcolm gets the better of him and he chokes him
I remember the first
unconscious.
time I saw this, I really thought that Dan was dead.
Oh, oh,
And I
that
was
would have
like,
changed things.
whoa. Dan's phone rings. He
Or
gets a
he gets a
text.
text, yeah. And
Hmm.
it's from Chloe and it says, "What? Let's give this a shot."
Hmm.
This is the leap that she's taking that her mom had pushed her off the cliff with.
Yeah.
And Malcolm says, "Don't worry, I'll answer for you,"
Hmm.
which is ominous because you know it's not going to be good.
No.
And then next we go to the penthouse, and oh my god, Chloe shows up drunk.
Hmm. I do love drunk Chloe.
Have we ever seen her this way before? No, right?
I don't think so. But we do get to see drunk Chloe a few times throughout the
Yeah,
entire show, and every time drunk Chloe shows up, I like
it's
it.
it's 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 good stuff.
Okay, but also, can I just say, like, if Mom has an early flight, like,
Who's
and
watching
Chloe,
Trixie?
who's watching Trixie?
Or her mom must still be at home or something.
But she's got an early flight. Like, what? Anyways, there should be a whole second thing where it's like, like chest hair watch. It should be like Trixie left with no guardian because it's not Dan. Dan is unconscious right
Lat-
now.
Latchkey Trixie.
Latchkey Trixie, the 8-year-old, is like, wakes up in the morning. Where's my mom? Where's
Oh,
grandma?
I guess I'll just
Anyways,
have to make myself breakfast, call myself an Uber to school,
and she'd do it.
and she'd get to school on time.
I'm not
Totally.
even a parent, and I'm still like, uh, who's watching your child?
I know. I totally would have appreciated if there was at least some mention of like some old lady next door that she always goes in like
I think eventually
leans
there is
on.
actually a mention of some old lady, like when they end up moving to the new
Oh,
apartment.
okay.
But still, it's like, and I guess, the babysitter, we can hope that like Chloe left a note for her mom saying, make sure Mary Jane comes over before you leave. Like, I don't know. Gone to bang Lucifer, be back, I don't know when. Like,
This could be a while.
according to him, he has stamina, so yeah. Anyways, sorry to pop
But
the. I always think about Trixie
I
and how
know, I
no
know.
one watches her.
Chloe goes to the bar and pours herself an extremely large drink. It kind of looks like it was like the whole decanter.
Hmm. Hmm.
And Lucifer guesses it has to do with Dan, and she actually calls him Detective Douche.
You mean Detective Douche? She's definitely thinking of him as Detective Douche at this moment.
Chloe says, "We aren't even back together," and he ended it tonight with a text. And she's like, "What are we in high school?"
And then he says, "We're certainly drinking like we are," which I just think is really funny.
Oh, God.
As somebody who didn't drink in high school but knows what
Okay, but the way that he leads her over to the couch was so cute. Like he's like
Mhm.
holding her hand and everything
Yeah.
and like leading her over and she's talking about how she feels like an idiot. I just found this really touching.
It's also, I mean, because, and I think this is such a great moment precisely because he is not skeezy. Like, he's not flirting
Mhm.
with her. He's not,
He's being genuine,
he's being genuine and he sees that she is like not
hurting.
in a good place,
Yeah.
right? Because if we've never seen her like this before, he's never seen her like this before. And so for somebody who we always see kind of like, having inappropriate moments with strawberries,
Mhm.
um, for him to just be caring without it being like in an effort to get in her pants, it's such a, I don't know, I just think it shows growth.
It was like Lucifer with Delilah in the pilot,
Hmm. Hmm. And I
right?
think it's like one of the themes of this whole episode is like making friends, right? And it's maybe the first time we've seen Lucifer just acting like a friend to Chloe
Yeah.
when she needs one.
Yeah. it's really good coming right after the Father Frank episode where she said, "I
Yes.
thought you needed a friend," and so it's like
Hmm.
it's almost like he's paying her back in this true friendship kind
It
of way.
has seeped through his thick skull at least a tiny bit.
But then comes the cringe moment because she moves in to kiss him and she's literally like lying on top of him, but he's
Hmm.
trying so hard to get away from her that he's like he's leaning all the way back.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because at some point she's just like, "What's happening?"
Hmm.
It was so cute and yet so cringe because it's like
Hmm.
she's just throwing herself at him and
Yeah.
he doesn't wanna, which is so
He's
weird.
like, I'm not really sure you can consent in this state. Like,
But this is the perfect lead in to the next episode.
yes, it
And
is.
it's going to be such a good one. And and the way they cap it off too is so funny because she's like talking about how what she's doing is so sad and it's like something that her mom would do. And then he hugs her and they're just I don't know, he's just hugging her on the couch and he's telling her he's starting a heart to heart with her about how we don't all have to turn out like our parents. And then she
Hmm.
starts snoring.
Hmm.
Oh, so funny. In the perfect way to wrap it up, Lucifer looks up and says, "Oh God."
Yeah. Definitely not the oh God we heard earlier in either case, either strawberries or through the wall. It's the oh, what have I gotten myself into?
Did you hear that?
I did.
That's literally someone outside my house.
Are you alive out there? That person might have just sneezed their entire head off. I heard it
Oh
from
my
Vancouver,
God.
man. Like,
Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, all
couch
right.
watch.
Couch watch. Oh, it's the same couch because we see
Hmm.
Maze sitting on it, and
Yes.
no updates on the devil face. He still hasn't shown his devil face to anyone. The title line, as we said, we think was said by the hostess.
Yeah.
And then chest hair watch. I thought I saw some when
Hmm.
he changed into the black shirt.
I think so. I think so.
LuciTunes. There actually were quite a few songs in this episode that I recognize from my playlist that I listen to a lot. First, there's "Devil Inside" by is this Inks or
In
INXS?
excess.
INXS. Okay, but that's the one playing in the market when he's talking to the lady about the strawberry.
Hmm.
There's "The Sky Is Falling" by Brett Levick. That's played during the interviews. So the one that I remember most is "Thought You Should Know" by Sip Sip Bubbleheads. That's the one that's playing when Trixie arrives at Lux
Trixie.
when she's walking down the stairs. It's a really nice, catchy song. And then there's "Calling Me" by Stacy. That's when Maze goes back to talk to Linda and the heart to heart between Chloe and Penelope. And then there's "Thunder Hearts" by Cold War Kids, which is Chloe's drunk scene at
Oh,
Lucifer.
drunk Chloe.
The good, the bad, and the crispy. My good is the family dinner in a trademark sort of way, just because it was so nicely orchestrated in a typical, oh my god, family
Yeah,
horror
everyone's
way.
had that. Everyone's had that family dinner where things are said that should not be said. I think my good is that last scene with Chloe and Lucifer. I like that it shows that he actually has grown in some
Yeah,
way, and that he does care about her as more than just like someone he'd like to maybe have sex with because he doesn't take the opportunity when it's offered.
and he's so confused about why too. He
So
has no idea
confused.
why.
Yeah,
He just knows that he doesn't want to.
yeah.
And so bad. Mine is actually the episode title. I don't know. It's like it's kind of like a thing where it's like a snappy kind of phrase or something that
Hmm.
Lucifer makes, but this one is just very eh.
Yeah. I think my bad, well, so originally I think my bad was how bad the fire looks when it's being,
Oh.
because it just looks super fake. But now I think maybe the bad is whatever that missing scene is that should have been in there.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. But I've never been fond of the episode title for this one. And I don't think it does the episode. It always makes me, like we were saying before we
Yeah.
started recording, it makes me think I didn't like this episode as much as I
But it's
actually
actually a
do.
really good episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the crispy.
Yeah, my crispy is Trixie and May's meeting at Lux.
Yes.
So perfect from
Just
beginning to
Trixie
end.
in general in this episode is perfect. And we hadn't seen her for a while.
Yep,
And so
yep.
she came back in with knocked it out of the park. But there's just something, everything about her and her, like, he's my friend. Like, aw, she doesn't think that about you, but it's so cute. It always makes me think that he must, even though what he said is kind of like animosity, the vibe that he gives off must not be animosity because she's Trixie. She would know.
Okay, we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be back with a new Lucy quiz. Okay, the way this works is I'm going to ask Tara 5 questions of increasing difficulty plus a bonus question about the episode we just discussed, and you have 5 seconds to come up with an answer.
All right.
Question 1. What color is Naomi's Christmas tree?
White
Ooh,
and
very
silver.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, question 2. What kind of print is Penelope wearing?
Oh, floral?
Leopard.
Oh, leopard. Of course she's wearing leopard.
Question 3. What color is the Sol de Javier shirt that Lucifer puts on?
Green.
Yeah, it's dark green.
Very green.
Question 4. What is on the painting that Chloe finds the drugs behind?
I think it's a pair of like llamas.
I think it's donkeys, but maybe
Couldn't
it's
remember if it was llamas
llamas.
or donkeys,
Uh
but they
oh,
have
now I
like
have to go back and check.
faces. Anyways, yes, I can see it in my mind's eye.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and check. Okay, question 5. Where did Junior go backpacking and stop eating meat?
India.
Ooh, you got that. I wouldn't have gotten that one. Good job. All right, bonus question. What is Penelope's pet name for Chloe?
Pumpkin.
Yay!
My mom
Which
calls me
is
Pumpkin too, so.
aw. That is different from what her dad calls her.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Any last thoughts? I was very happy with the episode because I went in thinking, I gotta watch Pops. Not really looking
Mhm.
forward to it, but it was
Me
good.
too. I mean, I forgot about the Trixie of it, which, you know, is just worth the price of admission for how adorable she is. And that scene in the bar is just so chef's kiss. Ha, pun intended.
Yeah,
This show does family dinners very well. We'll get another
it
one later.
does.
Much later.
I thought it was so funny. Wait, let me go look at the description for the episode. Hang on. It is when a popular chef is poisoned, Chloe and Lucifer home in on a suspect. Lucifer learns that Chloe's family may be even crazier than his own, which, no.
No, we will learn that no family is crazier than Lucifer's in so many ways.
Okay, if you are enjoying Rom-Com Detectives, please consider leaving us a review or a rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Someone left us a really nice review like a week
Wow.
ago, and oh my god, it made it made our day. For our question of the week, you can leave us a comment on Spotify, YouTube, or Reddit and tell us whether you are a deranged board shorts wearer.
I mean, they're not the most attractive. They're not. Crystal lives in board shorts territory, though. Like, I
Yeah.
mean,
I have a pair. I'm deranged, clearly.
mhm.
If you'd like to join additional conversations about Lucifer, you can visit the Lucifer subreddit at reddit.com/r/Lucifer. To contact me and Tara, email us at host@romcomdetectives.com. Follow us on Instagram, Threads, or Blue Sky at Romcom Detectives, or leave us a voicemail or text message at 1-650-733-XOXO or 9696. This episode of Rom-Com Detectives was recorded on August 10th, 2025. Rom-Com Detectives Lucifer Unit is co-hosted by Crystal Watanabe and Tara Avery and is produced by Pico's House. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you guys next time for our breakdown of Saint Lucifer. Bye.
Bye.